So, here I want to talk about a video on Project Station, and this is going to be talking about accessory power. Now, what is accessory power? Well, accessory power is not tied to my bike at all, and it's to power basically pretty much my electronics here and there and recharge anything from this to little tiny batteries that require power that and jazz like that, and power also my other stuff, like for instance my computer phone system, because this phone is going to be my main device for my entire little computer setup. So that's it. This is my entire little powerhouse device thingamajazz right here. This is my computer. That's it. No routing, no crazy stuff, just the phone itself. That's my computer right there, boys. Pretty crazy. So accessory power is basically going to be a combination of stuff like this. So my Anker Solix C300 DC, my Jackery 100 plus, those kind of things. And that's when I say accessory power, is that I'm meaning power devices that are basically built already to be power devices, output, or rechargeable to input. They're not rigged or something that I use 18650 cells and go like this to make a combination power bank system and then make cables go everywhere and jazz like that to route this charger box to this and this, blah blah blah, like that. They're a self-contained unit system. So like my Jackery 100 plus, it's a self-contained unit system. Like Solix C300 DC, it's a contained system itself that has limitation of charging and limitation outputs. But it's more than enough to be able to pump power for my entire station ability, because if I'm targeting roughly about 100 to 120 watts of power output for my entire desktop setup with pellet coolers and everything running of my entire unit, then that's more than enough power to run. So I don't need a major amount of power. And the Solix can power up to 280 watts of output on both DC ports, plus 100 watts of solar input. So if I do solar input and one USB-C, that's 240 watts of power income. Now, sure, the Solix is not a power station, so it's going to have that charging, discharge. Charging, discharge. It's not going to stay always topped off like the Jackery 100 Plus, where basically it will stop, and then all discharging power performance is based on what's coming in. And if there's any less than what's going out, then it will basically suck off battery, and then what's come back in will recharge and such forth. The Solix basically is a power bank that doesn't have pass-through charging, so power goes off, power goes back on, power goes off, power goes back on, like that. So it's a little stupid, but maybe I can find another unit that actually is a power station. But the Solix does have 288 watt hours of power. So that's about 300 watt hours of power performance, which is great. And for all devices I have, I mean, if you include these two little things, which would technically be like another 100 watt hours in total, I technically have about 500, if I'm not including my GoalZero Yeti 400s if I get a replacement battery, and my Yeti 150. So 500 watt hours of pure accessory power is pretty decent, but it's not very much for a longevity runtime for 100 watts of pure output power. So I need a little bigger power bank system. So my point of reference for Project Station might be around roughly 1 to 2 kilowatts of accessory power that is basically its own built-in system. So we'll see about that and how far that goes. So that's accessory power of my targeted preference of how Project Station will run. And that's just power bank stuff ability. That's not including other devices that have their own power system. For instance, my air pump system that takes 18650 cells, aka these bad boys. I'm not even counting those devices. Those can be recharged from any source ability and jazz like that. And that's why, that's another thing, is that all these other equipment devices that I'll get to in another video aren't related to accessory power. Equipment devices are a completely different scenario system. So anyways, see you guys later. Peace.